Friday rolls around, and that morning, Garrett showed up, Ilnej, whom I have never met before. It was like, and it wasn't like with TJ. You know, I knew who Tyler was. I talked to him briefly. I'd seen his stuff. Ilnej, I had never talked to. In fact, I think I might have been in a couple, maybe a voice chat with them, and maybe, you know, I do know that we shared some like Twitter comments back and forth, but I didn't really know who he was, and I had seen his stuff before, but there was really no connection there. And he shows up, and again, over the course of the weekend, you get to know this guy. I mean, we got to know everybody after spending so much time with him, and really just again, it might sound like a broken record, but he's a really cool kid. He's really funny. It's hard to be really funny. I don't care what people say. It's really hard to be just, you know, quick on your feet, witty comments that actually hit home, and not just saying something that just kind of, you know, you say it and just kind of flops like a dead fish and it stays dead. I got nothing but good things to say. I'm hoping to see him next January because the plan right now is that the girlfriend, myself, and a friend and his girlfriend are going to go to Disneyland, and he lives in San Fran, and Charlie, aka Spazmaster, lives in the LA area. So really hoping that we can get those two guys to come and join us, because I would totally hang with Garrett again. Again, just very pleasantly surprised, just by being lucky to have another cool roommate, because all the roommates that we had were cool. But even before meeting Garrett, I met Oscar, and I've talked to Oscar plenty of times on the phone and stuff. He's a good cat, and I am very blessed that he did the artwork that he did for the Hackdown. He did like the Ink title card. He did the What's Up Tiger Lily title card. He also did the Dark Soldier D title card. For free. With no other, not asking anything of me other than just that he gets credit for it. And he has a really good mind on him. And he's done YouTube videos, and he's done interviews. And he's done a lot of interviews that, I'm sorry, I'm going to suck his you-know-what for a second. He really kind of approaches interviews that he does in a realistic sense. I mean, yes, he's a fan of this stuff, but he's not like, oh, can you, what's your favorite movie and stuff like this. Like, he's going to ask, like, legitimate and, questions and stuff. And he actually interviewed Doug Walker, and he was telling me kind of how that went and stuff, and just the questions he was asking him. And it's not the kind of stuff that you just get from, random fans. But, anyways, he called me really early. It wasn't really early. It was like 8 o'clock on Friday morning. He had driven up about an hour and a half from where he lived to Tampa. And I met him down in the lobby. And the first thing he says to me is like, "Oh, man, you're not a big guy. You're a small dude." And I knew at that instant what was going through his head. And he'll confirm this. It's like, yeah, I can kick this guy's ass. And he to be fair, he probably could. He's a very big, big as in muscular, not big like, he could probably rip my arms off if he wanted to, Wookiee style. As I put it, he's kind of like Chewbacca and Han Solo. Like that's just how it goes. I was really happy that he was able to make it. That guy, just hanging with him and just shooting the shit. I mean, not just talking about review stuff, or not just talking about whatever, but life and work and stuff. It was really, really nifty. Everything was nifty with these people. Anyways, met him on Friday. And Friday was also kind of the first day where the con got started. Merchandise opened up, or the merch area. There was panels, and the guests were coming in, the cosplayers were showing up, and that's kind of like what I liked about what I liked better about Shadocon than I did like MagFest. Okay, MagFest is specifically video games, and while I grew up with video games and while I like video games, there really wasn't a lot to do outside of the That Guy with the Glasses panel that I really, wanted to do. The merch area was just all video game stuff, and I quit being a gamer some time ago. I didn't have the time, didn't have the money, or the interest to kind of keep investing in that. And the big thing with MagFest was hanging out with friends, hanging out with guys like Kyle and Joey and Brian and Allison. I mean, it was a really good time. But here, half the fun was like people watching. I mean, yes, I had the friend element there, but there was like maybe one or two cosplayers at MagFest, and okay, I mean it's not an anime convention, but since this was more anime, I mean there was just a shit ton of cosplayers. Some of them really cool, some of them funny. I mean the full spectrum. Like, what do you expect? A lot of Final Fantasy VII characters. A lot of random anime that I had no idea what they were from. Some random ones that were just really cool. Like the one cosplayer I think I got my picture taken with was a TIE Fighter jockey. The black garbed ones that fly the TIE Fighters in the first, well, all the movies, but you see them predominantly in A New Hope, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. But there was these other ones, like again from animes I don't know, but they had like these gauntlets that had like these digital lights on them. And when I say digital lights, I'm not talking like text or anything. They were just like these designs that were like flashing, very Tron-like, and it was cool. It was really neat to look at. And some Resident Evil cosplayers that really nailed the parts. Lots of Jill Valentines. There was a lot of they had a dot hack thing, which I believe is a RPG video game thing. But they were doing some kind of interactive thing, and I'm not exactly aware of the details because I only read about it. I didn't participate in it. But they had a lot of these characters around, and it was something about. There's this interactive storyline that you could, like, I had to find clues around the cons and stuff and interact with these characters to do stuff. And some of them, again, had nifty costumes. There was this one chick who I have no idea who she was, but she had this freaking, it was at least a 6-foot sword, maybe 5 foot, regardless, a 5-foot sword. That's freaking huge. She made it herself. Gigantic. There was these two guys made, well, I said two guys. There was one guy and a lady, girl, who made the robots from Mystery Science Theater 3000. Crow and, I'm sorry, I forgot the other one's name. You would have swore that they just stole it off the set. They were so well done. Really, really, really cool stuff. And, and of course, with the good stuff, there's always the bad stuff. The girls that, are a little bit too big for the outfits that they put themselves into. I mean, I'm all for whatever. I'm not even going to go down that road. But just the wide spectrum of people to watch. I mean, it's like, oh, look, there goes Cloud, there goes Sephiroth, there goes Darth Vader. There was no Darth Vader there, but you get the point. That was a lot of fun to do. And that's something that MagFest was kind of lacking. The merch room was, well, 2 rooms rather. They had a lot of stuff. It was small. I'm not gonna lie. It was small, but there was a ton of stuff. A lot of it anime, obviously, predominantly anime, as is to be expected. But there were a few hidden gems, hidden among there that I managed to snag, and TJ. God damn him for getting all the cool stuff. They had this big merch area with a lot of vendors from around Florida, and a couple of people who just like do handcrafted stuff. Like I bought my girlfriend she just recently got into Doctor Who and she really likes it. But they made it was a tin base. I'll have to take a picture of it for you or something. I don't have it here on me, but it was a tin that was had felt on it and stuff like that, and it was made to look like the TARDIS, and it was really cool. And they had a whole bunch of like gear like that, their handmade Pokeballs that sold out like nuts. There was tons of people with them, so there was this real nice variety of things there. I was trying to look for again, like unlike MagFest, I'm a little bit I can relate a little bit more to anime than I can video games nowadays. Like I would get a little bit more excited to go to an anime con than a video game con, obviously. But I was trying to look for something merch-wise that I could buy so I could take home with me, just for a souvenir's sake. I didn't get anything at MagFest. There's nothing there that I wanted, and I didn't just want to buy something just to say, oh, hey, look what I got. I wanted to actually get something that I would enjoy. So I'm looking around, and in my head, I'm looking for Kamen Rider, Godzilla, or some relation thereof, something Daikaiju, or like the one anime that I'm actually a huge fan of, and that's the Guyver. Not Nick Guyver, the Guyver. Guyver Bio Booster Armor. Specifically the 80s anime, not so much the 2005 version. They'll take it. Strangely enough, they at least had one piece of merchandise for all of those. I think TJ actually walked away with the one frackin', I was about to say the other one, the one frackin' piece of Kamen Rider merchandise they had there, which was this, it was Kamen Rider 1 doing his little pose on a stand. It was a little statue thing. It was very, very cool. I think he got it for like $12. I was like, you son of a bitch, because I didn't see anything there when I was doing my rounds. But it's pretty appropriate that TJ got it out of all of us. And I was looking around, and they did have some Godzilla stuff. There was this one place in particular that I mentioned earlier. Oscar bought $200 worth of Transformers, and I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty cool, the stuff that he got. A lot of the stuff was like nostalgic for him, and that's the best thing. You find something, you're like, oh my god, I had this as a kid, and he made out with some sweet deals. But this one particular place had a whole bunch of random stuff, Transformers, Gundam, they had manga, they had DVDs, a whole bunch of nifty things. And they did have some Godzilla figures. My problem, though, were that sorry, I'm going to get really technical here. They had Godzilla, the American Godzilla Bandai stuff, which you can basically get at like Toys R Us and stuff like that. They had Godzilla, the Final Wars Gigan, and Space Godzilla. And the Godzilla they had was the one from Final Wars, to be specific. And they were going for $15. And I was really thinking about picking up the Gigan. I didn't want the Final Wars Godzilla. I already got a big one of that. And I had the Trendmaster Space Godzilla, and the sculpt on that one wasn't really looking very sexy. The Gigan one, yeah, I'd take it. I mean, I love the design. I don't have Bandai of it yet, and they tell me, oh, it's $15, and I'm like, it's an American toy. I can get it on Amazon. I want something Japanese, something like imported. So that's when I'm looking around and I see. And this goes out to Vangelis, because I know a lot about this stuff because of that guy's work. But I spotted a couple of Revoltech figures, which I don't think it's in the same line, but they're kind of like SH Figure Arts. They're only about maybe yay big. We'll see them in various, they will do anime characters of these. They will do movie characters. They do lots of tokusatsu. From Kamen Rider to Godzilla, but these very highly articulate figures that are not meant to be played with, but are meant to be displayed. And you can do all kinds of crazy posable things with them. You can do, and they'll come with various pieces that you can, mix and match with. For instance, they had the alien from the movie Alien, the original one. There, and I was very tempted to pick that up because I'm a big fan of Alien, the first one in particular, and I love that monster. And I had seen Vangelis' review of it, and I was thinking, oh man, it's something I might want to get. I think it was like $40. But then I saw the other one that caught my eye, and that's the one I ended up walking away with. and by the way, these things are kind of pricey, 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks, depending on, you know, which one you're going after. But I managed to walk away with I believe it's the 1967 design of Gamera, the Showa Gamera, the one that Mystery Science Theater has lampooned time and time again. Very, very cool figure. I'm very happy I got it. 50 bucks, but 50 bucks well spent. Great souvenir. I don't have it here with me right now. It's back at the other house with all the other kaiju stuff. But it was really, really neat to see. The one other piece of merchandise that I saw that I was so tempted to get, but didn't, and probably for a very good reason, was the same merch guy that had the Kamen Rider figure that TJ bought. By the way, they also have these little Godzilla, I want to say they're pewter things, but they're not pewter. They're little diorama things that were literally about this big, of various incarnations of the Big G from over the years. They had some of the Millennium series. I know they at least had Godzilla, Mothra, Mechagodzilla, the design with the scarring on the chest, and they had some of the Showa ones. They had Godzilla holding Hedorah's eyes when he gets the eyeballs out of Hedorah at the end of the movie. They had a couple other ones. And, those were cool. They were $7 a pop. And when TJ first showed me the one that he bought, I was like, oh my god, I gotta get one. But after a while, I'm like, $7 for something this big. I already got Gamera. I don't think I need to get, spend an extra $7 for that. But I was strongly considering possibly spending $40 on this little Guyver figure that was about, this big and was on a stand. $40. But it came in a set. When I first saw it, I'm just like, oh, dude, gotta get this. And I asked how much it was, and no, it comes in a set. You gotta pay us $40. And the other figures in the set, I've seen these on eBay before. I don't know how much they run. Maybe $40 was a steal. I don't know. But I've seen these on eBay before, and I was not interested in the other three figures at all that they had. I'm predominantly there. I'm mainly into the Guyver anime. Like, that's where my main interest lies. I really do like the manga. I wish that I, had the English translations of the manga. I know they're online. I can't always find them because Guyver, the comics, have not been available here in the States for years. They lost distribution a long time ago, but the comic continues on to this day. And the other three figures that they had were from the comics and major characters, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry if I get this wrong, but they did have Guyver 1. Guyver 1 was the one I wanted. I mean, really, really cool little pose and stuff. And then they had they're basically like these Zoonoid soldiers that Agito Makishima makes when he makes the Zeus Thunderbolt. Maybe they were called the Zeus Thunderbolts, but they're the little soldiers that he creates to help him in his quest to destroy Kronos. Then there was, I think her name is Griselda. She's like best way to describe her is like a female Zoolord, even though she's really not. She's actually one of the main characters, and then she gets transformed again, if I could be mistaken. And there's this other one. It was like bright green, and it looked like Cell from Dragon Ball Z, as Oscar put it. I didn't know who he was. I think he's a Zoolord. He had the crystal up in his head. And so I mean that's basically $10 a thing for something this big. And again, if the Guyver thing had just been $10, I probably would have bought it. But I really just couldn't justify spending an extra $30 on three other figures that I didn't really care about, even if they were from the Guyver. Had it been like, Guyver 1, Enzyme, Guyver 2, and I don't know, some random Zoonoid like Gregor, Vamor, or one of those guys, I mean, yeah, hell yeah, I would have gotten an instant, but I don't care about those characters like I, do Guyver 1. But, so on that Friday, it was mostly just exploring, we were going around doing stuff. we hit up there was a Common Rider panel, and forgive me, I'm going to be brutally honest here. It was all right. I think that if we do this again next year, I really think that Easy Rider and TJ should strongly consider doing their own Kamen Rider panel, and that's all I'm going to say about that. It was a nice way to pass the time, and talking about something that I enjoy. So it was okay. And also that night was the first night that Revutopia had its first panel. And walking a very, very fine line here, because you can look at this from two ways. I'm going to try to look at it from both ways and try to look at it from from a positive and a negative perspective, if that makes sense. The panels were a lot of fun. And yes, people did come to them, which was the great thing. The first night, it was 9 o'clock on a Friday night, and we all get in there, and there is maybe, I would say, maybe 6 people. And it was the fact that we put asses in seats, the fact that there are people in Tampa, Florida, that watch our stuff is amazing. And granted, some of these guys knew, like TJ. I mean, TJ, Mr. 10K YouTube subscribers. He got recognized a whole lot at like MetroCon, which is another Florida-based convention that's there. I believe it happens over the summer. But a lot of the guys that were from MetroCon came here and they recognized him. So TJ's drawing power brought some people in. And again, there were other people that they liked Easy Rider stuff. They liked Ilnej, Garrett's stuff. They knew the shades and stuff, and just the fact that people showed up that actually knew the work that we did, knew of the website and all that stuff, that was fantastic. And the first that first panel, again, you look at the video and you're like, oh my god, there's like really empty seats. One thing that you gotta know about this entire thing is that Shadocon really needs to get its shit together. And what I mean by that is like, okay, the actual stuff that happened over the weekend went smoothly. I didn't have a problem whatsoever with this stuff. In fact, I compliment them for putting together a great, fun time. I enjoyed myself immensely. And yes, I would consider going again. But the thing that I kind of got antsy about, I get antsy about a lot of things, obviously, was that there was absolutely no marketing or information about the panels that were actually going to happen at the con, a week in advance, a month in advance, or anything. It appeared a day ahead of the con. It just, I would have liked to have seen, yeah, we got, there's the Kamen Rider panel, there, and there's the Revutopia panel, as opposed to like, going to the day of, it's like, oh yeah, show up, there's a Revutopia panel, and Easy Rider and TG Omega are going to be there, sure, I'm sold. I mean, if people had known about this ahead of time, even people just, maybe they don't look at the Revutopia YouTube channel, maybe they don't know that we're going to be at Shadocon. But, I have a feeling that had it been announced a little bit ahead of time, it would have helped everybody. It wouldn't just have helped us, it would have helped a lot of people. So, I don't think anybody knew, that we were there. Not to say that, it was going to be hustling and bustling like that guy with the glasses panel was at MagFest, which was just absolutely apeshit crazy. Cool, but apeshit crazy. But yeah, anyways, getting back on semi-topic. The first night, that panel, it went okay, I thought. We were really trying to find our flow. None of these guys have done it before. And, the only panel that I've technically ever participated in was that guy with the glasses panel. And even then, I'm a small fish in a very, very, very large school of fishes. Um, I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I technically here, it's not like I knew what the hell was going on either. But it took us a while to find our flow. And John was going on really kind of strong, trying to sell the audience. What is what is Rebutopia? What's going on? Here's what we do. Da 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 da. But once we got past that, once we actually started getting audience participation, and once we actually started to get questions and to just talk and just have a good time, I think that's when the energy really kind of went up. I mean, I got asked questions, which is awesome. Everybody I encountered that asked me a question, they were all asking about Review-Averse Saga. Everybody. Oh man, it was so cool. When's the next episode going to come out? And what happened with you and that guy with the glasses? Which I think is finally winding down, but I have a feeling that that'll be asked for, well, probably not a long time to come, but it's still asked to this day. And getting to explain that and explaining, well, here's the situation, and yes, the episode 6 is still coming out, and yes, I keep on saying that, but yes, it is. It's in this computer right now. Well, that computer, that's just the monitor. But, it's still coming. Something I did forget to mention about Friday, which was something that actually really surprised me, and is something that I'm actually very grateful that happened. It was really, really kind of neat. But I was in the elevator. I was looking for the people, the guys, Oscar, Garrett, and Easy, and the rest of them. But they were all spread out doing whatever, so I figured I was just going to go back in the room. So I get in the elevator, and literally just as the doors are about to close, somebody, comes in. And I look up, just not expecting anything, and I make eye contact. I'm like, it was Skitch. Skitch from that guy with the glasses. He's cameoed in numerous things. He's done music for Kikassia and Suburban Nights and Phaelus stuff, and he's working on something with Jew Wario right now. And I had talked to Skitch even before I was on that site, and he was originally supposed to do the voice of Reviewer 3. He's just a very nice guy, and I lost contact with him. We didn't really talk that much over the past year anyways, even when I was on that site. But, once all the shit went down, I didn't talk to him or anything. I basically never talked to anybody from that website after all that stuff happened. And I'm like, hey dude, what's going on? I should have known better, but I didn't know what to expect. This is the first time I've encountered somebody, that, yeah, I know him, yeah, I would consider him a friend, but it's not like, again, I don't talk with him every day and stuff. A true testament to how good of a person, how cool of a person he is, and how, I tend to maybe overthink some things. He was totally cool. In fact, we hung out for, a good portion on, that evening and on Saturday too. Just chilling and shooting the shit. We had breakfast on Saturday, and we just got to talking about everything from the stuff that happened with me on that site to the stuff that he's working on right now. We're both working on a project for Justin Giorgio. He's doing music that I was going to say, what else would he do? But he composed a piece of music for this video that Justin is working on, that I'm doing some visual effect work for, that, dude, it sounded great. It was really, really, really cool. And, why Ruler of Time was there, too, and I felt like a complete jackass, because he was at MagFest, and he was on the same panel that Skitch and I were on. And I had never met this guy before, personally. I think he said that he was on a podcast, that he was on Transmission Awesome, the one that I did at the time. And I felt like a complete asshole because I didn't remember him, ever talking to him and stuff. But that was cool, just shaking his hand saying, hey, what's up? So that was pretty nifty.